Welcome to Vice Casting Couch Season 1, Episode 11. Today we'll be talking about China behind the Equifax hack, allegedly, activating the Bracelet of Silence. I am Ryan. Of course, joining me today is John.
What's good?
Yeah. So I'm going to start with this Bracelet of Silence thing that I found here. It's pretty interesting. Kind of looks like a freaking like Get Smart technology, like the cone of silence.
Is there a safe word?
There, no, there's not. So this was a husband and wife team. They're both computer science professors at the University of Chicago. I'm gonna try to pronounce their names correctly. Is Ben Jaw, and Heather Jung, I believe. I spent like 20 minutes looking up how to pronounce these Chinese names. So they came up with this Bracelet of Silence, and basically it works the same way, same concept as like your Bose headphones, like the noise cancellation. So basically you wear it on your wrist, right? And it has all these little like little tubes coming off of it, kind of. I don't know what you want to call them. These little shoots coming off of it, and when you turn it on, it basically just sprays out a bunch of like white noise almost, but it basically counteracts the frequency of any microphone or phone recording or whatever that's trying to record you. It's pretty cool. It's a little I don't know if anyone would actually buy it and wear it. It's kind of big. It's
Do they
not
have
like
a non-bracelet version, or
no, they don't. Well, okay, so there was some other guys that made a there was an Austrian architect firm in 2014 that created like I don't know, it was like a speaker cover almost that you could like put on your I don't know, you would like attach it onto the speaker or whatever, and that would basically do the same thing. But
well, because it sounds like the Rabbler. If any of y'all watched Mr. Robot, you know, I've always wanted one of those, but I never knew where to find them.
yeah, it's basically like that. And I'm sorry, it was 2018 that previous one by Project Alias. They made that speaker cover thing. But yeah, this is a wearable device. Obviously, we'll put pictures and stuff in the notes. But I thought it was pretty interesting. And it started when the husband Ben, he bought an Alexa to bring into the house, and his wife was not pleased, obviously, because obviously the microphone's always on, listening for its name and stuff, and who knows what they do with anything that's recorded. So when he wanted to put it in the office, she was like, nope, like that's the last straw. We're gonna actually come up with something to counteract this, because this is kind of a problem that a lot of people are realizing. So they made this anti smartwatch bracelet. It kind of looks a little like cyberpunk almost. It's a little strange looking, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was pretty interesting, and it's a funny concept, kind of, that we have to wear a freaking bracelet not to get eavesdropped on by companies. But
Is it for sale?
As of now, no. They just have like a prototype. But I don't know if they're going to put it for sale or anything like that. But they're claiming that they can manufacture it for as little as $20. So they are asking for investors, but I don't know if they're going to actually like commercialize it, or if they're just asking for investors for like the research into it.
Hey, we're looking for sponsors. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We'll do a review, exclusive device casting couch.
No, they're looking for investors.
Oh,
they need the money. Yeah. So
I'm saying we got the marketing. You know.
Oh yeah. We have the platform. Well, I mean, people are doing articles on them, so I'm pretty sure they got their own platform.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Better luck next time. But yeah, they actually they made a video on how it actually works and what the result is. And when they play back the result, it's literally just, it's like white noise. You can't hear anything. You can only hear like certain high inflections of like what the speaker's saying, but you can't really make out any sort of words or anything like that. So I thought it was pretty interesting.
Oh, I think it's amazing. And, I would have all of them. I'd have one on each ankle, one on each wrist. I would be blocking all the eavesdropping. I'd have my infrared sunglasses, so all the cameras can't see me. Ain't nobody be able to track me. I'd be looking like Elliot Alderson, but like, yeah, kind of retarded.
All right. I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but okay. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, let me pull my do rag on. This.
Oh yeah! Wow. Good. I don't think Elliot wears a do rag.
Well, just keep tuned for season 2, episode 5.
Oh my goodness.
You might have to cut this out.
No, that's staying in.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Another
Hood Rat Tech coming to a video review.
Oh goodness.
All right. I was going to talk about a couple other Chinese individuals.
Oh yeah.
That don't care about your privacy.
Oh yes, the bad kind.
So segue into our next story. There was 4 members of the China's military that were charged on Monday with hacking into Equifax. If y'all don't know, it's a huge breach that happened in 2017 where names, birthdays, social security numbers of I think it's 145 million Americans were stolen. And we all initially thought it was criminals, and as they investigated and nothing popped up on the dark web, because usually criminals are out to make a buck, trying to get some profit. It just didn't start adding up. So apparently they were investigating, and the New York Times has a wonderful write-up. So I'm going to be quoting a lot of things from their article as we kind of go over it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, 4 members were charged on Monday with hacking into Equifax, which is one of the largest credit reporting agencies in the United States. Like I said, they stole about 145 million Americans' information. So this is, kind of, China's been doing this a lot lately. They've been trying to attain Americans' data since about for a long time now. But it's really weird because back in 2015, President Xi Jinping, I forget how to pronounce his name, and Barack Obama, they made an agreement that they wouldn't be hacking each other anymore.
That worked out great.
Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat.
Oh yeah, I got some bullshit stuck in your throat.
But anyway, this indictment suggests that the hack was part of a series of major data thefts that the People's Liberation Army and Chinese intelligence agencies have been participating in the last couple of years. They've been kind of gathering a lot of personal information on Americans, and they believe they're trying to use it with artificial intelligence to better target American intelligence officers and other officials. The Attorney General, William P. Barr, he said this is a deliberate and sweeping intrusion into the private information of the American people. They're trying to use, particularly with this Equifax, they're trying to use all this information because, like I said before, Equifax is a credit reporting agency.
Yeah.
So they know, are you bad on your money? Are you in financial stress? So they believe that with this, they could target American officials who are under financial stress and potentially those that be susceptible to either bribery or blackmail. Like I said, they got names, birthdays, social security numbers. But with this data, they can also access information like medical histories and bank accounts. Something I didn't know is that it brought up in this article a few other hacks that we might have heard about. I think I covered one of the Marriott hacks in one of our very first episodes, I believe.
Aaron covered that earlier.
So the New York Times actually tied in a couple of these. So they said this kind of attack on American industry is a piece of what other Chinese illegal acquisitions of sensitive personal data. They said at the news conference that announcing the charges, citing China's theft of records in recent years from the government's Office of Personnel Management. And the Office of Personnel Management had security clearance info and everything, so they believe that they're trying to pull together a bunch of different information. There was Marriott International, so they could tie it together with stays in countries. I know later on in this article, the CIA mentioned they had to actually withdraw operatives. And then there's an insurance company called Anthem that China's also been cited to have hacked.
Wow. So a lot of these are connected, basically, is what they're
Yeah,
saying.
China's been involved in all of these, and they believe that, like I said, they're
Jeez.
trying to pull together this information with artificial intelligence.
Wow.
Um, just
Yeah.
to,
China. Yeah. China's not our friend.
oh no.
Jeez.
So like it goes a little bit more into like the Office of Personnel Management. So
Yeah.
that hack happened in 2015, and roughly 20 million security clearance files from the government's personnel office were leaked for employees and contractors. It included like some of the most senior members of the government that had to reveal, in these files, people had to reveal foreign contacts, relationships, including extramarital affairs, health history, information about their children and other family members. There's a lot of information that goes into these OPM stuff. They assess that China is building a vast database of who worked within national security jobs and where they've traveled and where their health histories were, stuff like that. Like I said, they're using this data sets to improve its artificial intelligence capabilities to point to where it can predict which Americans will be primed for future grooming and recruitment. John C. Demers, the Assistant Attorney General for National Security at the Justice Department, said, so there's a 9-count indictment accusing the Chinese military of hacking into Equifax's computer networks, and they maintain unauthorized access, allowing them to steal sensitive and personally identifiable information about Americans. There's a lot of names if you want them, but I probably can't pronounce them, so.
Yeah, let's not butcher more names. We don't want to offend more people than we already have.
So I thought it was interesting. It actually kind of goes into a little bit how they were able to move their information. So when they broke into the network, they conducted weeks of surveillance to steal Equifax employee login credentials before they were stealing the data. They masked their activity, but they used encrypted communications, and they routed their internet traffic through 34 servers in nearly 20 countries, including Switzerland and Singapore. So for the most part, they managed to erase their tracks, but investigators eventually found out that they messed up, and there were 2 active connections back to Chinese-based servers that were connected directly into the Equifax network.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Okay, so would they have been able to track them if they hadn't messed up? Does it sound like
That's
it or
the
no?
that's the only like kind of evidence it sounds like they have. I was trying
Okay,
to see what was all like on them, but
because they like posted the names and pictures of the people, right? That are
yeah, there's
connected with this.
Wu Xingyang and Wang Huang and 2 other people I don't want to pronounce.
Yeah, please stop. Wow. Okay.
But
I
it's
mean, they'll probably never be actually like held accountable though.
it's hard to say. I don't know.
Because I read it was just a small snippet about it. I didn't know it went that deep, and they were just saying that even though the U.S. has like officially said or like charged them, they I mean China's not going to send over their own military guys to be charged in the U.S.
Oh no, probably not.
So like nothing's probably going to happen. But I mean at least they have a pending indictment, I guess.
And it's definitely interesting that now that like I didn't realize how China's been collecting all this information from multiple hacks. I didn't know they were behind as many of these hacks as they were, and how they're trying to build a database using artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting because just a couple days after this came out, there was a spokesman of the China Ministry of National Defense came out and said that these charges against 4 of its members are without a basis in fact. And then they were trying to use information that Edward Snowden leaked in WikiLeaks, saying that the United States has also targeted China, and basically he's just accusing us of trying to make them look bad.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I'm sure. I mean, every country in the world is spying on each other, but to the extent that China is, I don't know. I mean, that seems pretty. It seems pretty connected and very very thought out, I guess. It's not just like they're surveying or whatever. They're actually trying to get specific data on specific people. I think that goes a little more. It's a little beyond just like spying on each other or surveillance or whatever.
Yeah. In just the things we've seen, like their facial recognition that they've gone, that's like very Black Mirror, like dystopian
Yeah, true.
esque. Um, their bad treatment of the Uyghur population,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah, yeah.
spying on them, and
Well, yeah, they're sending them to freaking camps. Like,
hmm
goodness gracious. Yeah, they've
it's
kind of gone off the deep end in the past few years.
well, and a lot of people say that China is, just all this adds up. They are the greatest threat that we face nowadays.
Yeah. No, yeah, the more I read about stuff like this, the more I kind of agree with that. I mean, they're trying to expand their country, right? They're building freaking islands off their coast. They're building up their military. They're spying on everyone, trying to get as much data as possible, and they're also investing heavily into like third world countries to get resources and stuff like that. Like they have to be building for something, and I mean, the only logical conclusion is that they're building themselves up to become a bigger superpower than they already are.
Well, maybe we should make an episode about China's like 100-year dream and their Belt and Road Initiative, and
Yeah, no, I'm definitely up for that because there's a lot of interesting stuff behind there that a lot of people just don't realize.
hmm
But goodness gracious,
are you going to talk about that Huawei episode? I mean, a Huawei article.
Huawei, is that how you
Yeah,
pronounce it? Huawei?
I think so.
I don't know. I've heard it pronounced like 20 different ways. Yeah, this is just kind of a snippet that I came across, but it kind of, like I said, it segues nicely into the story that you were just talking about. So this was the company Huawei, if we're pronouncing that correctly. Apparently, they stole trade secrets from Cisco. So basically, they allegedly they also have like pending racketeering indictments and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of stuff going against this company. This company is seeming more and more shady as time goes on. There's also allegations that they can access telecom networks as well, like backdoor into them. It's crazy. But the one that I came across was apparently this company stole source code for Cisco routers and then copied it and then just started making their own and selling it in the U.S. Obviously under their name. And apparently Cisco said that they termed it flagrant plagiarism because they also just copied the manuals for the routers for Cisco, but just put their name over it. So so if you look at the like router manuals side by side, they're almost identical, like to each other, but one just has Huawei and the other has freaking Cisco on it. So there's the U.S. Department of Justice is looking into it, and they're saying that it's not really looking good, just because of all the stuff that Huawei's been doing. But yeah, it's that's one spicy meatball. That's one shady company right there.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of these Chinese companies are practically government owned.
Yes, yes,
So
that's also very true.
it makes you wonder about, especially with what we just talked about, like all the shady stuff that's going on.
Well, yeah, look at Blizzard. I went over that in a previous episode. I mean,
Oh, yep.
Blizzard's basically doing the bidding of the government by banning people that are sympathetic to Hong Kong and stuff like that. Like something that a gaming company should have. They shouldn't have a opinion either way, but yet they're going after people because the Chinese government told them to. Yeah, it's crazy. Even though Blizzard is I believe it's a U.S. company, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure it's a U.S. company, but they have very, very strong ties to the Chinese government, obviously, because.
Well, it's one of the largest markets in the world.
Yeah, exactly. And Blizzard, I mean, they host their world championships there. Everything's done on China's end at their Chinese branch, and yeah, they're basically just a shill for the company or a shill for the government, allegedly. Allegedly, don't sue us. It's kind of scary how all these the Chinese companies are very entrenched with the government, and the government itself. I mean, these were military people that you were saying are being having the finger pointed at them for hacking into people's information. Like that's, I don't know.
Well, we'd have to
pretty
do a
blatant.
whole nother episode about it, but China is very known for it's called an APT, Advanced Persistent Threat. They have one of like the top just cyber hacking groups. I forget the name of it, but like they hack stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, this Equifax is not the first one, but they're specifically targeting like important stuff.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's almost like spear phishing. It's very very targeted. It's as I said, it's very different from just normal, like the normal surveillance or the normal like hacker group that wants to hack a company and sell it on the dark web. It's very targeted. They know what they're going after, and it definitely seems like they have some sort of background plan, which has been talked about in the dark corners of the internet. Uh, yeah, in whispers in the dark, that there's several like plans of how they're going to advance their country and stuff like that. So it's not really a secret, I wouldn't say, but it's just not really brought up that often because then you sound like a crazy person.
If you sign up for our Patreon, you'll get our exclusive China episode.
Yeah, it's called getting a getting a Castbox account or a YouTube account. It's free.
No, but I think we will make a China episode in the future. So just
Yeah,
be
no, I definitely think
on
we
the
should.
lookout for that.
There's as I said, there's a ton of stuff. I mean, just researching normally for our episodes, I come across at least one or two articles about China doing something nefarious or a Chinese company doing something nefarious. So it's just, and that's just the tech industry. Like, there's so many other conspiracies and theories and stuff out there about the shady stuff that China's doing, like changing their changing their constitution so the president can just become a dictator.
Oh, if you want to talk about crazy stuff, they've been injecting billions of dollars because coronavirus have had their stocks go down like repeatedly.
Wait, coronavirus? What?
Yeah.
Coronavirus has stocks?
No, 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 no. So coronavirus is affecting the stock market in China.
Oh.
And so it's been going down like 8% every day, but they're injecting like billions of dollars into the economy to try to prop it up.
Jeez.
Stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying they were like selling the coronavirus. I was like,
No,
oh,
no.
okay. I was like, well, it's over, folks.
Well, there are some conspiracy theories about that.
There are. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around there.
Join us on our side channel, Conspiracies and You and Me.
Stop the misinformation, John. You're going to confuse people. Oh, my goodness. But to tie this into our favorite topic, WhatsApp.
Another WhatsApp article?
Kind of. I just want to bring
you
up.
Shouldn't have.
Oh, stop. So we talk about Signal a lot and how it's obviously better than WhatsApp. But I just want to bring up Signal is apparently coming out with an update to make it more user-friendly. So I know we advocate for Signal a lot, that it's an end-to-end encryption. It hasn't been hacked. It's a messaging app. It's fully secure. They haven't had any issues so far.
It's some minor ones.
I mean, but not like WhatsApp or like any other app that claims to be encrypted. But apparently they're coming out with some updates. So me personally, I'll take security over usability any day of the week. Like I value security more than I do, can you send an emoji or something like that? I don't really care about that. They are coming out with an update. It's more of I think they called it an enhancement update. They don't want to make it seem like they're shilling out or anything like that, which they're not. But they're adding like you get like customizable stickers or something like that, or you can also make groups, which I think would be an actual really good. That's the one that I'm excited about in their next update. Is you'll be able to actually make groups in Signal, because I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but when you make groups in Signal, sometimes it can be a little janky, either with the messaging like going directly to the creator of the group rather than to the group, or some messages not downloading and stuff like that. Some of it can be tweaked with switching it between MMS and SMS. But I just want to throw that out there. If you're using Signal and you're getting frustrated that it's not as easy to use as like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or whatever, they are coming out with an enhancement update that will make it a little easier to use and a little more just kind of quality of life updates. But I just want to throw that out there. I thought that was pretty exciting. So
Yeah. No, Signal is one of my favorite apps, and I'm glad they're doing this.
Yeah.
Have they rolled the update out already? I thought they saw something about.
So they did
stickers or
add.
something.
Yeah, they added the stickers and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that's come out already. This article was from the 14th of February.
Yeah, because I just opened it on my other phone. It's like introducing stickers.
Yeah.
Why use words when you can use stickers?
So they must have pushed out some stuff already. But the group one, and some of the other like quality of life updates, I haven't seen yet, unless unless it's today that they pushed it out. But last time I checked, which was last night, I didn't see any change in the kind of jankiness of making groups and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it. I think it would be a very good improvement, so people can actually switch to Signal without losing some usability from other apps that they may be using that are less secure.
Yeah.
You have anything else, John? I'll take that as a no.
Hold up. Hey, man, chill.
Okay, yeah.
500 Chrome extensions caught stealing private data of 1.7 million users. So Google recently removed 500 malicious Chrome extensions from its web stores after they found to inject malicious ads and siphon off user browsing data to servers under control of attackers. These extensions were part of a malvertising and ad fraud campaign that had been operating at least since January 2019.
Did you research this, or are you just reading an article? Because it sounds like this is just story time. Goodness gracious! All right, I think we're done. I think we're done.
Yeah, you like that? That's how I report.
Goodness gracious! All right, well, we'll actually research some more stuff and make another episode. Until then, goodbye.